And in this video, I want to show you how we can create something like this Linktree clone for ourselves. So I was actually creating a link for my accounts, and I realized that for just a small customization, I have to pay monthly or something. So I was like, let's just create something for ourselves. And while I was on the way to create one, I was like, let's also show. So, okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to create something similar to this. You'll have a page of yours. We'll start from scratch. You don't even have to know much of an experience of anything. We'll be using HTML, CSS, JavaScript. JavaScript will not be used initially. It's just some advanced stuff I'll show you. It's not a must, but still, I just want to add some stuff. So we'll use those things. I'll show you how to create it all. I'll show you how to deploy it online, and also get some good small things and here and there. So yeah, before without any further ado, let's go. The demo project link will be in the description, so you can check it out how it looks like. I'll put my link there. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing is you need to create a folder. So I created this YouTube folder now. So I recently bought a different device, so that's why it's clean, because you can see I have different videos on my channel. So first I'll just type Linktree clone. Let's just call it that. I'm going to open that up in VS Code. Now again, as I said, it's for total beginners, so I can understand if you don't even have Visual Studio Code installed. Visual Studio Code is basically a platform where you will write the code, right? So it is really useful. Visual Studio Code, whatever the programming language you are using, it could be used. So to install that, you can just visit Visual Studio Code and just download that like that. You can visit that, click on the first link, download for your device. Once you have that downloaded, nothing much you need to do. We'll just start by, let me just keep it till there. Okay, so we'll just start by, I usually create a public folder first, because whenever I'm deploying, this is the folder which I'll be deploying. So public folder, inside that I'll create an index.html file. Now this index.html file represents the slash, the direct page. So for example, if I have a domain called indianappguy.com, this direct page is the index.html. If I create something like, I don't know, about.html, that will be slash about for that. So for example, if I created about.html on this particular website, then it will be indianappguy.com/about. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, what are we waiting for? So first I'll move to the index.html file. I will press shift and 1, and that will be this. So I'll click on this first one. Now if you don't get this option, I think this is defined, so I haven't installed any extension or anything, but just for the direct sake, I'll put a link. I'll have a blog link in the description, something where I have everything described. I'll put a link to whatever the extension I'm using, so you can check them out. Now once we have this basic structure right off the bat, what we need is we need this particular whole thing. Now whenever you're creating anything, you're trying to replicate a different page on a web page, what you should do is first divide it in different structures. What do we have? So right now I can see we have an image, right? That image, then there is a text below that, then a text, then there are a few buttons, or you can call it links. So the way we are going to structure all of this is we can just directly create a div. Right, we'll create a div which is going to be outer div. Now we need this outer div so that it is going to contain all the contents of it. Now inside of that, I'm just adding some comments so that I can clear what stuff is where. So this is just the first one is, let's say, is just for the profile info. Okay, so that is one div which I'm going to create. So that is profile info div. And then we can have links. So for example, I pressed command / to get this comments thing. You can type it out as well. Then there will be option of links. Okay, so we have profile info, we have links. Now what we are going to do is we'll add those things. So I will just go in here, I'll type image source, and the source is going to be this image. Okay, one thing which I usually do is I need an image over here, right? So I'll just pick that up, Linktree clone. I will search for profile. .png. Okay, we have that. So I'll just go in. I will go inside the folder and create a folder called assets, and then I'll click on reveal on in Finder. You'll have a reveal in Explorer if you are using Windows. I will paste this here. Image. I think I should have copied, right? Oh my, okay, I think I'll do that later. So we have the image over here. I can just rename that. I think Sanskar profile is fine. So now I can use this asset image from that folders just by typing dot slash, which is basically a relative path, right, for this file to the asset place, right, where the asset exists. So I'm going to say slash, I'll type assets slash sanskar profile.png, and then I'll just end it with slash this. This is how we end image tag. Well, now you'll be like, okay, you wrote something, but I cannot see anything here. So to do that, you need to install one extension, which is called, let me check. Something like live viewer, this live server extension. So I think I can go in here, type live server. So this one, you need to install this extension, this design and everything. Basically what it helps you to do is you can right click open with a live server. So it will open it up over here. So you can see we have an image. Well, nothing too far, but still it's kind of a good start, right? So we now need this username. I'll go with @Indian app guy, and the next thing is we will use the description. So I'll just create a description. Okay, if you have a look, this is how it looks like. Okay, now we need the buttons, links. So for the links, we as I said initially, we'll go with just static, like pasting link. Then I'll show you the next step, which is like you can also do that with JavaScript. By JavaScript, you can populate the content on the web page. So we'll go firstly simple way, just paste, copy paste, and then later on I'll show you how you can use a component and just do it via JavaScript. One more question which you might have is like, what about creating it with React.js? So the reason I'm creating it with HTML, CSS and JavaScript rather than using React.js is whatever you do, React.js application is going to be much heavier than a direct native like this build like this. So I want my page to load as fast as possible, and I feel this is the best way to go about it. So that's the only reason. Otherwise, React can help like in this component stuff. This is not a very complex page. It is a very simple page. You do not need React if you're not going into complex stuff, which I am actually going, but I think we can still manage. Like for example, I will be adding some sign up form and stuff like that. So that can also be handled with HTML, CSS and JavaScript. You don't need anything else. Okay, so we have this. This is saying document. I don't want to say that. I want to say my username, right? So I'll just copy that and paste it in the title. Nothing big, but it's just something. Okay, next what I want is I want to create these buttons, links, whatever you want to call. We need a div for that, right? Or a div, which is basically div acts as a container, which will contain all of these links or buttons, whatever you want to call. It's already this GitHub Copilot. Copilot is suggesting, but basically I'll type I have this EMMET abbreviation extension as well. If you want, that is a really useful one. Basically, you'll just type AP, it will complete it like full one. So what was this EMMET, something like that, right? Yeah, something like that. It's a again, check my link of all the extensions I use. Here I'll just put all the different links I have put. So for example, I have used a LinkedIn link. So I'll say LinkedIn. One thing which you can notice is we haven't done anything about CSS right now. So first what we are trying to do is we are trying to create this whole skeleton of this web page of ours. Then we'll like decorate it with all the makeup and like whatever we have, design and everything. So this is a link and we have 3 links now. Second link is for GitHub, so I'll just paste it there. Third links is for my apps, so I will just paste it there like that. Okay, looks like we have 3 links now. Again, one more thing, like we are creating like this if you want to add images or if you want to add icons, so you can do that as well. I'll show you maybe later on. So right now they are arranged like horizontally. I don't want that, so I'll just do a simple styling, not doing much of it, but display and flex direction column. This is usually how I just quickly make it like this. And then I realized, you know, all of this content is like arranged at the left side of the box of this whole container. I want it in the center of it. So I'll just go inside this outside div, and here I'll say style. First I'll provide a display of flex, and then I'll say justify content. Okay, first of all, when these kind of justify content center. Yeah, so you can see stuff has gone here and there. Because we are using display flex, things are like arranged horizontally, so I need to provide a flex direction of column, so which takes it to the same place. Now when you provide the flex direction column, and if you want the content to be in the center, you should provide the align item center thing, so it should work. Now these are not centered, right? Like at least this and this is not centered, so we can just go inside this one, and I can say display. I think the same will be applied over here, so I'll just copy those, and you can see like things are not exactly how they should look like, but somewhere near. Okay, if you want to really create something exactly similar, I'm going to check. So you can use these developer tools. I pressed Shift Command C. You can just right click and inspect to get this developer tools, and click on this arrow. I'll click on this image, and I will see that it is like 96 by 96 is the size of it. So I can go over back to my image, and I can provide the same size to it, which is height of 96 pixel and width of 96 pixel. Okay, so once that is done, you can see it's like looking like that. Now I want to see the padding and how things are arranged. So we can see outside it has provided 24 pixel 12 pixel, which means 24 pixel vertically and 12 pixel horizontally. That's the outside div padding. So well, we can do the same. We can just say padding, how much it is, 24 pixel 12 pixel. So this is how we also go about it. Okay, what is next? Well, secondly, we see this, the container which we created, the profile info container. It has a margin. So margin is orange, padding is green. Just remember that. Margin, you can see below it is more, which is, you can see it is provided 12 pixel, 0 pixel, 32 pixel, which means 12 pixel at top, 0 at the side, and 32 at the bottom. So 12, 0, and 32. So I will do the same for my profile info. I'll just say margin 12 pixel, 0 pixel, 32 pixel, right? And now if you'll see, things seems like similar, but there is too much gap between these, right? And these are like just here and there, but for our page they seems, so that is because of the predefined margin of these. We need to provide styling, which is to reset this. So what I do is I'll create a new folder inside. I'll call it style, and inside that I will create a folder called index.css. This is basically for the CSS part, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to say body, and we can provide a predefined, like that margin is 0 initially, things like that. Like there is a predefined stuff you can define, but yeah, that's what I was talking about. So I don't want these to have like this, so I'll just go give it to HTML, maybe margin 0 pixel, and then I also need to import this, right? So how do we import that? We'll just say style source. Am I right? Honestly, this is the first time I think I'm using like this. Every time I Google, I don't know, that might seem dumb or something, but I'm just providing this background color to check. Where are you? Oh, yeah, my bad. I'll provide the style. Oh, sorry, not this one. This one, style and index.css, whatever. You can see now because the background color is visible. I think background color looks good, but we'll do the designing part later. So right now you can see my margin is provided 0, but still it's not working for some reason. Maybe I can say p margin 0 pixel and make it important. And this is pixel, not XP. It seems like a gaming thing. So you can see like they become like that. I think 4 is a good margin. Maybe we'll go with 0, but we'll provide according to our needs. So I think these should have some margin here and there. First thing which I don't like is the font. So you can use either Google Fonts. Good. Where like there are a lot of options for Google Font. One font which I was recently playing with was this one, Avenir. So I think I am going to copy the import link and cut this out, paste it here, and then I'm going to provide the styling. So I'll say font family, you can just click copy. I am going to provide it to everything, so that's why I'm just going to do like that. Okay, that's too much. Yeah, font looks bit better, I guess, right? I mean, now these links, oh my god, they are not looking good. So for that, let's start styling. So I'll say padding will be 20 pixel. Yeah, that puts it somewhere. If I have a look at the color, you can see I clicked on it. This does not have the color. This does not have the color. This does not have the color. Or does it? So there are two colors provided. So you can see, okay, the background color is 3D, 3B, 3C, DBC, right? DBC. Maybe that was it. Also, I think it looks like this have a border. Yeah. So basically on hover, it changes. So when you hover on that link, it gets a border and a background color becomes white. I'll show you how we can do that. But initially, let's just go with this. I'm just going to provide the same styling to it and it. I'll show you how we can make this whole as one. So we just change the styling at one place and it's changed for all of the list. I'm just trying to take it one step at a time. Okay, so things happened. We provided that color, but now the link color is just not good, right? So we need to provide the color as white. Now, one thing which you can notice, Sanskar, like you'll be like, Sanskar, why we have to change for each one of them? Well, if you don't want to do that, just cut all of them. Create a class. We'll call this something like button and provide that. Button is not really good. I think that should be better. So I will now say class, and that's the class. Now with class, what happens is you don't have to provide the styling to each of them again and again. You will just change it for the class and it will be impact. Now you can see I used this dot. If I'm using a class, then it will be dot. If I'm using a ID, then it will be hash. So you can see this looks like this. Now I don't want the, let me close this. Now I don't want the underline. So I'll say text decoration. That will become none. So you can see that is gone. I will say width to be 100%. Let's see how that works. I think the reason for that is because this is also not taking the whole width. Now it's taking, and it's a bit too much, right? We need to provide a maximum width to it. I'm not sure how they are doing because their width right now is 6, 7, 6, 7, 5 6, and this seems to be with a padding. Yeah, this seems to be with a padding of 80 pixel. Yeah, the outside two, they have two of them, right? So one is outside and then one is this container. Okay, they provided that. Then they have this another container which have this margin, very slight. Good. So I'm going to actually cut this all out, create one more div and put that all of it inside. I hope the code is properly visible. You can pause the video if you want to check out properly. I'm going to provide the style margin. I'll make that 80 pixel. Sidewise we want 80 pixel, up down we want 0. So it will be 0 pixel, 80 pixel. That's how I will go about it. That seems to be too much. So I'm just going to go with 30 pixel. Yeah, the links are working. That's something which I don't have to worry about. We want the text in the center, so I'll do that. We want a little bit of space, of course. Who does not like space? 4 pixel, 0 pixel. 4 pixel is top and bottom, and 0 pixel is from sides. Okay, it looks good somehow. Not too bad. If I have a look at that. Okay, I'm going to sit here. First thing first, this is not taking the whole space, so it's kind of here and there. That's not good. I will just provide it width of 100%. So if I check it out now, that does not seems to have worked. What about this one? Well, we need to provide this one as well. Margin 100%. Okay, now we need the 80. Well, 100%. Yeah, basically whatever I did there, I did here. We need to make this responsive as well, so don't forget that. Oops. It's just taking the whole space, which is not exactly what I want. I want the maximum width of it to be width to be 700 pixel. That's just the maximum. I don't want it to be like a button is not supposed to be longer than that. You can make it like this big, but yeah, it's not in the center. That's something which you need to do. Justify content center, line item center. So justify content in a line. Okay, you can see now it's like there in the center. Okay, we are somewhere here and there, but what we miss is like this is not looking good. Just not like we have a good amount of space. I don't need that much space here. If I have a look at this div, we provided 32, but I don't think I want 32. Yeah, again, as I said, like I am creating this for myself and you will be creating for yourself. So just create how you feel about it. So my apps, why is it small? Okay, so we have a simple structure in place. I'm going to add some margin here and there. So I'm going to say style margin 6 pixel, 0 pixel. This is from top and bottom. This was supposed to work. This is from side. I think that's because of the one which we provided outside. So we need to make this important because we have already provided a styling in the index.css file. So if you want to override it, that's also actually important. So if you want to override that property, then you need to do that important thing again here. Kind of good. Yeah. Isn't it like for image, I think little bit margin bottom should work better because we are just trying to make it clear that image is separate. Then we have text and everything. I don't know. I feel like rather than having the username, it's sometimes good to have a name. What do you think about that? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so we have I think it's pretty good looking Linktree we have going on here. So now one thing which I also want to add is I want to collect emails. So if you don't want to well, it's done. If you want to just deploy it, let me show you how you can do that. So first, you need to go to github.com. This mandatory, it's not, but I mean, if you are not using GitHub, like, what are you doing, dude? So Linktree clone, just create a repository, copy all of this. Okay. Before you do that, make sure you have Git initialized. Okay. So if you don't have Git, go over here, Git, and just do that. Like, it'll ask you to download it, some stuff next maybe, but yeah, that's just a one-time thing. You don't have to do that ever again. So I'll just paste all of it, enter. And if I go back here and reload this, you can see only readme is there, but now you can see we have this. So I'll just say first update, or like basic Linktree, and sync changes. So that's done. We have created the landing page so far, and I was about to show you how you can upload this. So we have added the content on here. We pushed the code through here. Now we want to deploy this, right? So there are multiple websites. There is Vercel, there is you can even do that on GitHub as well. There is Vercel, there is Netlify. So I have shown how to do that for Netlify in one of other video. So I will show how to use Vercel in this one. So I will just visit Vercel. I have already signed up, so that's why it will show me my projects and stuff. For you, it will be just log in, sign in with your GitHub account. And once you are in there, like, this is the dashboard, you will not see any of the projects because you haven't deployed if you are a beginner. So we just click on new project. I'm going to choose this Linktree clone. I'll click on import. We have Linktree clone. You don't have to do anything else. I'll just click on deploy. Give it a second, it will deploy that. So what this is doing is this will take your project, which is like you are working it locally, for the public. So if I click on this, you can see it have this Linktree clone dot hina dot vercel.app. So this is how the application looks like. Not bad. You can actually visit this URL and the application will be this page link will be available. So I mean, it's not bad, but we have some other content which we want to add, right? So let's go and do that. So I will first, I like this, how this button works. We also don't have this animation, right? So we will add the animation of when we hover on the button, it should do that. To do that, what I'll do is I'll just use that button which we created. Hover. On hover, what we want is, there should be a border, 1 pixel solid. Let's provide the same color as of the background, which is 3D, 3B, 3C. I want the background color to be white. I want the color to be 3D, 3B, 3C. And now if I hover on them, you can see the border is very less. So I want to increase that to something like 3 maybe. So if I go about it now, it looks much better, right? So I can even go 2.5, I guess. Will that work? But this is border, so it's like taking outside space, right? Like it's like kind of making things jump, which is not happening over here, right? That's something which we should remember. So for that, I can say, maybe I can just update the padding. It will not. So all the places we can decrease that to 19. So as a beginner, you learned how you can write simple HTML structure, how you can add contents to a web page which you are creating with an HTML. We learned about an extension which we can use to see the live preview of what we are building in our HTML page while using VS Code. Then we learned how to style that HTML. So we added some basic form of styling, we added a font. Then the last thing which we did was to deploy that particular page online. Now this process is done to show you how to create a Linktree clone, which I also kind of showed you how to try to replicate a page or something like that, but because we use some dev tools in Chrome. But you can use the same process, like all what we did, to replicate any kind of web page. As much as you like there are different frameworks which you can use, like there is React.js and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it is HTML and JavaScript. So yeah, I mean, with HTML JavaScript, you can build any sort of website. If you have any suggestion which you want me to build next, please share them in comments. I'll try to make them. And yeah, I hope you like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.